Everybody, good morning. It is a Thursday morning, and we are off into another training here. And I'm welcoming in women to this. Not that I exclude women by any means, but oftentimes it's generally men watching my content. But as you can see in the title, I'm specifically reaching out to women. So, just a quick understanding, women, if you're watching this and you see a value in this, I'm just going to preface it right away. Kind of the call to action here: send it to your man or the gentleman in your life that is in your life, or maybe you're interested in. Send it to him because by all means, it's going to help him as well as you. Fellas, if you're watching this, it might be helpful to send it to your woman in your life to help her better understand or communicate what you're going through. Or by all means, you take this content and you learn how to communicate what's going on for you to her. So by all means, I'm here to be of service, to be of help. Really, as you can see in the title, look, here's the thing, man. Reaching out to men is not an easy task because there's generally this barrier, this wall, this protection that I know I can figure it out. I don't want to show my weakness. I'm not going to be vulnerable. And so I get that. I get that from me as someone who wants to be of service to men. But so I can't imagine being in a relationship with men who are putting up that barrier, unwilling to share and communicate. And I say that because I'm recovering from being one of those. And it's an ongoing process. There's no healed, it's healing and continuing to get better because just there's a lot in my short amount of time on this earth that I was not shared with. I didn't learn. Society didn't tell me. Men in my life didn't teach me. So I don't want to take a whole lot of time of yours here because we are live. If you're seeing it on replay, by all means, you can uh, s- jump in the comments as well. But if you're live, I've got my chat up, so you can answer any questions, ask any questions you might have. So here's the thing: if the man in your life, if he's angry, let me take a step back. I hearing a lot from men who are saying, "I'm just angry, and I what everything she says, I'm just triggered by. She's constantly criticizing me. She's complaining." This is one of the biggest issues that men have in their relationship is their partner being overly critical and him feeling underappreciated. And I mean that is research data that is not just from what I'm hearing from men, even though that is what I'm hearing, the research is there. And so, uh, what that means for you is there's opportunity for growth if the gentleman in your life is willing to take that on. So, if he's angry, if he is defensive, if he gets triggered by your emotions or the things that you are saying, he's not broken. And let me just throw that out there. He's not broken. Uh, and for a lot of men, there is this sense that they are who they are. They're not going to be able to change. And look, I get it. There are and can be individuals out there that aren't willing to shift, evolve, and to change. However, there are some that can. So, what I want you to know to the women out there is that it would be very, very challenging to be in a relationship with someone who is avoidant, who does get triggered just by your natural human emotions, who does emotionally shut down. That would be very, very tough to be in a relationship with someone, to love someone, to give yourself to them when that's been your experience. And this is fixable. This is not fatal by any means. Men just were not given a playbook. There was no, not only were they not given a playbook, but everything outside in our environment tells us to do the opposite. Play through the pain. Don't look weak. Be strong. Tough it out. Don't cry. I mean, just the endless type of information that has been fed to us consciously or subconsciously that we've absorbed. And so that's what has been built. That's the paradigm that's been formed. So this is fixable. However, You're not going to be able to fix it. This is not your job to fix. This is his job. And so, how he fixes this is through discipline, self mastery. From a masculine state, I'm talking energetic, masculine energy, embodied leadership, true presence, and accountability. That's how he fixes this. It is not, unfortunately, going to be through couples counseling. Nothing wrong with couples counseling. I've learned a ton through couples counseling. Very, very beneficial. However, he's got to do his work and not working on the relationship, not working on trying to fix you, but on himself. And so, this is his work. And, he unfortunately has been conditioned to believe that he is just to achieve and accomplish into this world. And it's something external outside of himself: money, status, uh, job, business, followers on social media, your love, sex from you. Like, he just is taught to achieve and accomplish that. And when he doesn't achieve and accomplish, there's this feeling of, what's wrong with me? I'm a failure. And so what happens is, in his psyche, he tends to avoid touching that pain. He feels guilty. He feels ashamed because he feels like a failure. And so it comes out as triggers. It comes out as avoidant. Uh, and the fear that's running in him is not being communicated, and it's just being stuffed down, suppressed. Okay, I can get over this. If I just make a little bit more money, that'll take care of her criticizing me. That'll make me feel successful again. Oftentimes men go down this avenue. And if you're new to my content and information, you've probably heard me in the past. If you are, we talk about how men are conditioned to go down one route. And if you're on video here, you can see that holding up my rubber band here. They're taught to achieve and accomplish in the financial realm, business, career, all that. The problem is everything else in life is anchoring them back. And they get frustrated as to why I can't break through this particular ceiling, or I can't go to the next level, or why I'm trying so hard, but I can't get to where I want to go. And everyone else is bugging me and criticizing me and not appreciating me. And it's this pressure that he's putting on himself is dysregulating, and obviously is dysregulating in your relationships. So he's not avoidant, withdrawing, being defensive because he doesn't care about you. He's withdrawing, avoiding, suppressing, getting triggered. He's angry because he thinks he's failing. And the world outside of him continues to confirm that, especially when maybe things aren't going his way in the financial realm, or he can't break through this particular ceiling, or he's, his partner is being overly critical and demeaning, and maybe name calling and uh, 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 emasculating. Those are realities in relationships. And and I'll just speak from the man's perspective. He doesn't know what to do other than, well, let me just go achieve and accomplish. So I want to before I go any further, distinguish two things here. Uh, Number one, toxic avoidance versus a man who's simply operating from an outdated emotional software, or lack of software. Maybe he just wasn't given that. He wasn't has any type of insight that was never downloaded. Didn't see that experience from a masculine, present, grounded, healing man. So it's essentially the training that he never got. And for a lot of women, it comes intrinsically, and you see that from the feminine, energetic perspective. What I'll say here is, I am of no. This is what am I trying to say here? I'm not excluded from this. This. I'm basically telling you my story through this, because this is what I've learned through it. And fortunate for my life, for my children, for the partner in my life, I made consistent, disciplined effort to figure this out because I continue to find myself in very challenging, toxic relationships, and I'm thinking, uh, I'm the common denominator here. What is this? What is the reason? So I went in to learn to understand this and invested hundreds and thousands of hours and years and days and weeks into trying to under trying to learn this. And uh, especially when there is no essential play. There's a lot of people talking about this, but there's not a lot of real men, like masculine men, that are having these types of conversations. Some are out there, no doubt, some fantastic ones, and I've learned from a lot of them. But we need more voices, and so I'm hoping I can be a voice out there for you. So, with that being said, let me introduce you into the equation here. And this is not any blame on you because this is out of your control. This has nothing to do with you. This is him. And what that means though is you still have power. And what's interesting is as much as I had this conversation with men, women get it. You get this. You get this. Men don't. They continue to think, well, I'll just go figure it out. So again, I just want to interject here and say, I'm introducing you into this and bringing you into the fold because I know you've got a man out there that you love and you're just frustrated in seeing him struggling and how he's responding and how he's approaching things or not approaching things. And you want to help and support him. So I want to get you in the fold so that you can do just that. This is where you come in. Knowing that he's feeling like a failure and he's not feeling like he has the tools to support what's going on for him emotionally. He's been told to stuff it down, suppress it, not share, block. So you can support him by standing in your feminine power. You don't need to step into the masculine to fix him or mother him. He doesn't want that. He doesn't need that. And I know from my perspective, I didn't know that I didn't want it. I didn't know I didn't need it. I had no idea. I had no idea that I was in a position where I had given up my self-respect. I had let go of my boundaries. I had let go of really mastering my own personal power. And by doing so, women in my life then took that over. And it didn't feel comfortable, but I didn't understand it. I didn't have words for it. I didn't have a feeling for it. It just didn't feel right. It didn't feel right for them either. So your job is not to step in and take the reins. He has to do this himself. Your role is to create a space and an environment that invites him to step into his masculine leadership. So oftentimes, if you take a man who wants to be a masculine leader, and a woman who jumps into her masculine to kind of like right the ship and take the reins and help him, and he's saying it's the misalignment is there, and he's feeling off, as is she, because she doesn't want to be in her masculine energy. So if you can create a space that even if he doesn't know yet, there is a part in him that recognizes when there is a space where he can step into masculine leadership, there is a part of him. He may not know how to do it, but there's a part of him that it's in him. It's in him. It might just be a little candle light versus a blazing torch, but it's in there, and he just needs an opportunity to step into that. So what it does is by you falling back into your feminine, it invites him to step into his masculine. The way in which you hold space for him with your tone, with your nervous system, even if you're feeling like, dude, what is going on? The more you show up in that, your divine softness, your timing in which you do it, without activating his shame, without triggering his feeling of a failure, then that invites him to meet you in his masculine and to try on new things. But when we're battling here for control and fixing, and um, that's where he's not able to find a space in which to do that. So again, I'm not telling you to fix them. You're simply showing up as yourself to prevent accidentally making it worse. And I hope I'm saying that correctly. I mean it in the best way, is that uh, he's got a lot going on, and if you can just show up and give him the space. I'm not talking about like avoidant, like you just go out. No, but just being present in that feminine energy, that softness. Then he can step into his power and start to feel it. So what he needs uh, in order to kickstart this transformation, he needs structure, emotional understanding, a purpose and a mission. Men need a mission beyond just, I'm going to work to pay the bills, to bring it home and give it to my kids and my spouse and the house. And now I'm exhausted and there's nothing left for me. I'm talking about a mission in life, a mission that you can feel. I love relating it back to the mythical stories of a dragon slayer. And you've heard the stories of the dragon slayer goes out and slays the dragon, and you got the princess waiting back at the castle, and it's like the dude has a mission to go slay a dragon. And the princess is like, "Oh my gosh, that's amazing. He's a dragon slayer." And the dragon slayer's got a mission. He's got to protect. He's got to step up and protect the castle and uh you know uh, fulfill that just driving him to be that type of man. And it's just unfortunate unfortunately we don't have to go out and slay any type of mythical creatures, but we've been dumbed down into, well, I'm just going to go do a job to make some money to pay the bills. It's just, there's no real mission behind that. A drive, and especially for men, we evolve to the level of our challenges. He just may not being challenged, and it's bugging him, and he doesn't understand it. So he needs that type of purpose and mission. He's got to do some identity work, which is getting to the truth, stopping. And this may, you may relate to this, you may not, but the dude's lying to himself. I'm just going to talk about men. Men are lying to themselves about what the truth about who they are, what they're feeling, what they're going through, what the reality is. And they try to compensate that with more lies, such as, I can figure this out on my own. I got this. I just need to make a little bit more money. I just need to get this career promotion, and then that will take care of everything that's going on at home. It's just caught up in these lies and in telling themselves, and the lies of omission, things he's not even communicating, he's leaving out. And thus, if a man is lying to himself, he's lying to everybody else. And so he's not stepping up to support. And I guess he's cheating his spouse, he's cheating his children, he's cheating his friends, his family, from experiencing the real dude that he is. So I'm willing to bet you're not experiencing the real man in your life, because he's got these barriers in front of him. We got to get him to break those down, burn them. And I've got a whole process: burn, build, and being. The first stage is to build. And so he needs that type of burning of this old identity, building up in self-mastery, masculine purpose and mission, have a set of standards, structure in his life. And I tell you, this is where a lot, just in my experience, is where a lot of relationships start to go awry, and women begin to get uneasy and become overly critical and try to jump in and fix things. And they're demeaning and struggling with how to get this guy to get out of his funk, or to connect with him emotionally, because the man has either lowered or lost his standards. He has not learned how to set boundaries. Yes, it's totally okay for your man to set healthy boundaries with you. And I'm willing to bet that when he does, you're actually going to be attracted to that, but he doesn't realize that. He has no need to set boundaries with you, and vice versa. He's lost his standards or lowered them. He hasn't set healthy boundaries. He doesn't have a lot of. He's feeling like a failure. He's not feeling. He's feeling some shame. He's feeling a lot of lack of self-respect. So we have to unwind that and build from a place of masculine purpose, mission, self-love, truth. Truth in the foundation. Then we layer it on with accountability, helping them with a brotherhood. Your man needs a brotherhood, and not just the dudes at the office water cooler talk. I'm talking about guys that he can go in and sit on their couch and go, I am hurting. I don't know what it is. I'm feeling something. I can feel it in my relationship, how I'm showing up, I'm hurting. So he has a lot to work on. A lot of things that you probably already have. You probably have a community of women that you connect with and share with and are open and vulnerable with, holding each other accountable, checking in on one another. Dudes don't have that. Dudes do not have that, and they need it, especially if they're in a relationship, but they're wanting to grow and evolve. They cannot do it alone. I've tried. I've tried to do it on my own. It has not been successful. And the sooner that I started to tell the truth and burn down the lies and connect with other men and tell men the truth about what's going on for me, whew, is that a scary one? To talk to men who I share with about my money challenges or challenges in a relationship or about sex, those things that dudes don't talk about. But when you do, my gosh, is it relieving? So men need some help and support, and this is their journey. So, and this also relates to if you're someone who's out there looking for a man. These are things that he needs. Maybe some good questions to ask. Who are your male friends? Tell me about your brotherhood. What's your mission and your purpose? Obviously, just um, being light about this, but it's important that he has those things. And I'm not talking about money and ripped abs. I mean, those things are great. Layer them on, but that should not be what's um, drawing you into them. I know those things are nice to have, but these other elements are really, really going to create a solid rock star relationship. Do this. So I share this episode for two reasons. One, uh, men need to hear this. So if there is a man in your life, by all means, share this with him. Let him know that, dude, you got this. And what he's feeling is totally valid. It's normal. However, in order to reduce the challenges that you're having in your relationship, him feeling unvalued, feeling that you're overcritical, that he's failing, is he's got to start to do the work to connect with you, because now when a man steps into your relationship with this masculine energy, he's leading, he's setting healthy boundaries, he has standards. Those are attractive. And it's going to do one of two things for you, women. It will invite you to step into your feminine energy and meet him there. You follow me? Because you stepping up into your masculine energy and he is participating more in a feminine energy, he's going to feel dysregulated. It's going to feel off. But if he can step into that masculine energy, if that's what he chooses to step into, and that's comfortable for him, it invites you to be into your feminine energy. But if you step into your feminine energy, it invites him to step in his masculine. That's where we can work on this together. So he's got to do his work in healing. You're doing your work in healing, and then you all can come together and work on healing through your relationship. Share this with him. If you have a partner who's struggling under pressure, he's stressed, you feel him emotionally dysregulated, this might be some insight to help support him. If he's getting triggered at just anything that you're saying or the little things that you're saying, this is something that he's working through. And it's a mirror, my friend. And I'll just come back to this, and I'll end with this, because pretty much the foundation of everything that I talk about is that Our results are a mirror. And although I've heard this for years, I didn't understand it. It didn't really sink in until I went through relationship challenges, money challenges, building a business challenges, and realizing that my results were simply just reflecting back to me what I felt and valued in myself. And so if he's avoidant, and I'm not talking about the toxic avoidant, I'm talking about a dude that's just he's hurting, he's avoiding tough conversations, he's triggered, being defensive about things that you are communicating to him. Then that's reflecting. There's something that's coming up with you in your relationships that's reflecting back the shame, the feeling of failure, not good enough. That's being triggered for him, and he doesn't know how to say, "Hey, I'm feeling like a failure in this moment. I'm ashamed by where things are at." And I'm willing to bet that if you did step up in that regard, you probably would say, "Wow, that is so amazing to hear." That is super helpful. And I know it would be helpful for you. I know. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to ask for help. I didn't know how to say I was lost. All I knew how to say was, "Don't worry, I got this. I'm going to go out and find this new job and I'm come back and I'll have something by the end of the week." I didn't have anything by the end of the week. I felt like a failure. And being in a relationship with someone like me obviously could be very frustrating for somebody. And those individuals that I experiences with would get upset with me, and that further just made me feel even worse. And I get it, rightfully so. That would be upsetting that I didn't produce, I didn't provide, I didn't fulfill what I said I was going to do. It wasn't without a lack of care, effort, desire to do it. It just, in this regard, there's two things. One, there's a lot of trauma from and men, our past, that are fueling our responses today. And there's some outdated programming that we are operating from. Me self-included, to this day, still working through old operating. In fact, I'm in a big cycle right now of in my business and with feeling worthy of receiving clients and new business coming in. It's an ongoing process. So here's the thing. He cares. He loves you. He is just disconnected. He's dysregulated. He doesn't know how to communicate it. And you can help support him. So uh, it's your opportunity to step in as a, "Hey, I love you. Maybe this could be of help for you." So we definitely don't want to shame him. We don't want to make him feel any level of guilt. Uh, he cares for you. He loves you. He just needs some support. So by all means, if this is something that resonates with you, please just connect. I'm at Cletus Coffee on all social channels. Maybe link us, connect us. You can just put him in the comments here. Just tag him, and then that way I can reach out to him. Or if he's comfortable with that, or you can connect him with me. You can always go to cletuscoffee.com/book a call. That can jump on a call with him and have that conversation, or with you. Maybe I can help support you through this process. Either way, the window is there. The opportunity is there. My door is open. I want to be of service to help, because I know it did not serve me, and I continue to see men struggling with this and frustrated with themselves. A lot of really good men frustrated with themselves that they continue to snap at their spouse, or they continue to find relationships but can't hang on to them, and they're frustrated with themselves. And so we want to get them to that self-mastery, that purpose, that mission, surround them with a brotherhood, give them the tools to help improve their emotional intelligence, to align that drive and that fire they have for building a business, building a career, and help them build an entire empire for themselves, which includes you, kids, if you have them, uh, community, adventures, explorations, and beyond. So I'm here. I'm here to kind of connect, be a bridge for you all to help do this. So I would love your support. And if there's a man out there that that could benefit from all this, by all means, I would love to connect with him. Thank you all for your time. I'm at Cletus Coffee, so all social. Please let me know if I can be of support.